In this video, we will solve 3 application problems using a one-step equation involving multiplication or division. For the first example, we're asked to write and solve an equation for the following problem. Devin bought 5 pounds of strawberries for $9.45. What was the cost of 1 pound of strawberries? We begin by defining a variable for the unknown. In this case, we let C equal the cost of 1 pound of strawberries. If C is the cost of 1 pound of strawberries, and Devin bought 5 pounds of strawberries for $9.45, 5 times C, or 5C, must equal 9.45. And now if we solve this equation for C, we can determine the cost of 1 pound of strawberries. And again, since 5C means 5 times C, to undo the multiplication and solve for C, we divide both sides by 5. Simplifying on the left, 5 divided by 5 simplifies to 1. 1 times C is C. We have C equals 9.45 divided by 5. Let's determine the quotient on the side. We have 9.45 divided by 5. Before we divide, we move the decimal point up into the quotient, and now we divide like we normally do. We first determine how many 5's in 9, which is 1. 1 times 5 is 5, and now we subtract. 9 minus 5 is 4. Bring down the next digit. Determine how many 5's in 44, which is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. We subtract. 44 minus 40 is 4. Because the difference is less than the divisor, we know the 8 is correct. And then we bring down the next digit, which is the 5, and determine how many 5's are in 45, which is exactly 9. 9 times 5 is 45. We subtract, the difference is 0, and therefore the quotient is 1.89, and therefore C equals 1.89, which means the cost of 1 pound of strawberries is $1.89. For our second example, we're told Ramon's monthly car payment is 3 times as much as Marcella's monthly car payment. If Ramon's monthly car payment is $462, how much is Marcella's monthly car payment? To help us set up the equation this time, let's define 2 variables. Let's let R equal the amount of Ramon's monthly car payment, and let's let M equal the amount of Marcella's monthly car payment. Let's begin by writing an equation that relates R and M. We're told Ramon's monthly car payment is 3 times as much as Marcella's monthly car payment, which means R is 3 times as much as M, which gives us the equation R equals 3 times M, or 3M. Again, whatever Marcella's monthly car payment is, Ramon's is 3 times Marcella's monthly car payment. But we're also told that Ramon's monthly car payment is $462, and therefore we can substitute 462 for R, giving us the equation in one variable of 462 equals 3M. And now to solve for M, because 3M means 3 times M, we divide both sides by 3. Simplifying on the right, 3 divided by 3 simplifies to 1. 1 times M is M. M is equal to 462 divided by 3. Again, let's show the quotient on the right. 462 divided by 3. We begin by determining how many 3's in 4, which is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 6. Determine how many 3's in 16, which is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract. The difference is 1. Bring down the last digit. And determine how many 3's in 12, which is exactly 4. 4 times 3 is 12. We subtract. The remainder is 0. And therefore M equals 154, which means Marcella's monthly car payment is $154. Let's look at one more example. Here we're told David is 1/4 as old as his Aunt Charlotte. If David is 12, how old is Charlotte? For this problem, we'll begin by defining 2 variables, where D equals David's age and C equals Charlotte's age. And again, our goal here is to write an equation that relates D and C, and we're told David is 1/4 as old as his Aunt Charlotte. which means D is 1/4 of C, which gives the equation D equals 1/4 C or 1/4 times C. But we're also told David is 12, and therefore we can substitute 12 for D, giving us the equation in one variable of 12 equals 1/4 C. And now to solve this equation for C, we know 1/4 C means 1/4 times C. So we might be thinking we should divide both sides by 1/4, but remember, dividing by a fraction is equivalent to multiplying by the reciprocal, and therefore instead of dividing both sides by 1/4, we will multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4 over 1, or 4. And because we have a fraction on the right, we'll multiply the right side by 4 over 1, and because there's no fraction on the left, we'll just multiply by 4. And now simplifying on the right, 4 over 1 times 1/4 is equal to 4/4 or 1, or we can simplify before multiplying, since we have a common factor of 4 between the numerator and denominator, where there's 1, 4, and 4 here and here, which gives us 1 times 1 or 1, and 1 times C is C. On the right side, 4 times 12 is 48. Since C equals 48, Charlotte's age is 48. I hope you found this helpful.